Right now, Wisconsin's primary election will be held today. What you need to know about last-minute changes to how you can vote.
Plus, we're looking at the latest numbers overnight behind the coronavirus as the number of deaths in the United States passes 10,000.
And we're starting with some fog this morning across southern Wisconsin, but looking ahead to high temperatures near 70 degrees. The full forecast is coming up.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us on this election day. It is April 7th.
There is a lot to talk about this morning. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster over the past 24 hours, a lot of last-minute changes and up-to-the-minute information about the election. So let's get right to our Josh Spreiter, who is downtown with the very latest. Josh.
Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Leah. Yeah, we're live in downtown Madison near the state capitol today as Wisconsin will still have their spring primary despite the governor's efforts to push that back yesterday. It all started with an executive order to try and postpone that in-person voting until June, but that was unsuccessful. But the Supreme Court ruled in a 4-2 decision that the governor does not have the authority to do that. Later in the day, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of state Republicans, blocking a lower court order which would have granted voters an additional 6 days to mail in absentee ballots. That means all absentee ballots must now be postmarked by today in order to be counted. Governor Evers now says Wisconsinites will have to decide whether to exercise their right to vote or stay healthy and safe. He says, quote, "In this time of historic crisis, it is a shame that two branches of government in this state chose to pass the buck instead of taking responsibility for the health and safety of the people we were elected to serve." The majority party leaders in the state legislature applauded the Wisconsin Supreme Court's ruling on moving the election. In a joint statement, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos and Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald says the ruling affirmed the separation of powers in the Constitution. The leaders also released a statement on the absentee ballot ruling, saying the United States Supreme Court's ruling addresses their concerns over ballot security.
Josh, thank you. We spoke with some UW-Madison professors to get their perspective on all of this confusion surrounding today's election. Journalism professor Michael Wagner tells us he's concerned about all of the changes for voters and bigger inequalities in terms of minority populations getting out to vote. Political science professor Howard Schwaber says he's surprised to see the push to keep the election today by those in power.
They are taking the coronavirus seriously and conceive of it as an actual, genuine threat to public health, then they're embracing a message that essentially says your vote or your life, or your vote or your health, which is a level of cold-blooded cynicism that I don't think we've seen in American politics.
Strong words there. A new study says coronavirus could peak in Wisconsin as soon as next week. The Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation released the new data Monday, saying we could see that peak by April 15th. The center originally estimated cases wouldn't peak until the end of May. Authors say that new date might mean Wisconsin isn't flattening the curve as effectively as previously thought. Now, this follows new information from the DHS, counting 83 deaths due to COVID-19 this morning. There are more than 2,500 confirmed cases right now. 16 counties have reported deaths, including Columbia County, where health officials reported their first death just yesterday. 2 more people have died in Dane County over the last 24 hours, bringing the total here to 11.
When the numbers increase, it is easy to think of this pandemic in terms of graphs and the numbers on our web pages. But we need to remember that each number represents a person, a friend or family member, a neighbor or a coworker. When we each do our part to flatten the curve through physical distancing and staying safer at home, we are doing our part to keep ourselves and others healthy and safe.
There are currently 12 active labs running coronavirus tests in Wisconsin, bringing the daily lab capacity to more than 3,500 tests. Despite that increase, folks with severe illnesses and healthcare workers are still being prioritized.
Across the United States, there have been more than 1,000 COVID-19 related deaths per day since the start of this month, according to the Department of Veteran Affairs. The pandemic now has a higher death toll than 6 U.S. wars combined. The Revolutionary Revolutionary War, War of 1812, the Mexican War, Indian Wars, Spanish-American War, and Desert Storm have a combined death total just over 9,900. So far, nearly 10,800 Americans have lost their lives to complications from the coronavirus. New data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention show that COVID-19 cases for children are mostly mild and rarely fatal. The CDC looked at 150,000 confirmed cases between February 12th and April 2nd. Of those cases, roughly 2% of them were children, and of those cases, only 3 of the young patients died. But most only displayed mild symptoms, such as a fever or shortness of breath. The children infected also had a lower hospitalization rate, about 1 in 5, compared to adults, which is about 1 in 3.
All right, 6:05 your time now. Miss Hattie McLean is here with quite a foggy Tuesday. Hey, Hattie.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, we do have a little bit of fog. You can see some of that moisture in the atmosphere on the WICTV sky camera. Looking to the east, doesn't look like we're going to see much of a sunrise this morning. Dense fog advisory is in effect still for the counties bordering the Mississippi River Valley, as well as Richland County. Juneau and Adams counties have now been added to that dense fog advisory that's in effect until 9 o'clock this morning. It's exactly where we're seeing visibility less than a mile. Pretty widespread visibility, 3/4 to a half a mile from Prairie du Chien up to the Dells, even into Camp Douglas. Fog is not a huge issue here in Madison, and even less of an issue as you get closer to the lakeshore. Warm air is definitely moving into the area already. Yesterday at this time, we were in the mid-30s. Today, we're in the 50s. 50 right now in Madison and Janesville, 50 in Lone Rock, even as mild as 54 in Mineral Point. Now, your Metro Futurecast has variably cloudy skies today. There may be a little clearing this afternoon as high temperatures climb to 71 degrees. An outside chance for a shower or a thunderstorm continues for southern Wisconsin. Not everyone, though, is going to see that rain today. Here's a look at your Future Track forecast model. A weak front moving through the area does bring that chance, but it looks like east of the region, better chances for some rain. Skies will actually clear out tonight, so we should see some sunshine tomorrow morning. But then as a stronger cold front moves through, look for widespread showers to develop for the afternoon. Notice the northerly wind later in the day tomorrow. That will cause some colder air to move back into the region. As far as total rain amounts, generally pretty light. Most spots picking up less than 1/3 of an inch of rain, although there could be some slightly higher amounts if you are under one of those thunderstorms later today. Your extended forecast, I'll get out of the way here so you can see 71 degrees for the high today. Enjoy the 70s, that unfortunately they're not going to last. Look at the rest of this extended outlook. We spend much of next week below normal. In fact, we're back to high temperatures only in the 40s as we head towards the end of this week. At least it will be dry, but you'll want your jacket.
Boy, I would normally not complain about high 40s in Wisconsin, but after 70s, Hads?
I know, I'm kind of ready for some warmer temperatures.
Yeah, I think we all are.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Hattie. 6:07 now. Testing for the coronavirus is now available for all 10 million residents of Los Angeles County out in California. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti made that announcement on Monday, saying there will no longer be limits on who can be tested. However, that doesn't mean they immediately have tests for everyone in that county. Previously, those who were over the age of 65, have an underlying medical condition, or a weakened immune system were the only ones eligible for testing. New this morning, the New York Police Department says nearly 7,000 officers, more than 19% of that force, are now sick. The number of cases within the department is up 1.3% since Friday. So far, more than 1,900 officers and nearly 300 civilian employees have tested positive for the virus. More than 10 NYPD employees have now died.
Also new this morning, a task force from the American Thoracic Society in New York says they are temporarily endorsing the use of hydroxychloroquine for hospitalized patients with coronavirus and severe pneumonia. The New York Daily News says the group is emphasizing this recommendation only applies to patients in severe condition. The endorsement also only applies in instances where the patient can be informed of the drug's possibly lethal side effects. Meanwhile, hospitals in Sweden are putting an end to their use of hydroxychloroquine's predecessor, chloroquine, after reports of severe side effects. Newsweek says the hospitals made the decision after patients who were given the anti-malarial drug, reported symptoms like cramps and a loss of peripheral vision. Both chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine have received praise from President Trump as possible treatments for the coronavirus with, quote, very encouraging early results. However, members of the medical and scientific communities cannot reach conclusive answers about whether the two drugs are effective in treating the virus.
An update now. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is in the ICU this morning to receive treatment for COVID-19. The 55-year-old was first admitted to the London hospital on Sunday for what he said were just routine tests. Now, medical experts say the Prime Minister is, quote, extremely sick and will likely need to be placed on a ventilator. This comes after reports Johnson would need oxygen treatment because he was struggling to breathe. Johnson still remains in charge of the government as of now, and lawmakers say there is no plan B if he can't continue to lead due to the illness. The country's first Secretary of State would need to be deputized, but that would only be a temporary measure. The country's constitution currently has no clear answer on how to proceed.
Some reassuring news this morning out of southern Europe. Italy and Spain are reporting a decrease in the number of deaths in their countries. Italy recorded its lowest daily death toll in 2 weeks. And in Spain, the number of deaths there has fallen for a 4th consecutive day.
We're following some breaking news overnight as Japan is now under a state of emergency due to the coronavirus pandemic. That order came in just over an hour ago now as the country struggles to contain the spreading virus. The Japanese Prime Minister says only basic economic activity will be allowed to continue there, including in Tokyo. The state of emergency is expected to last for 1 month. This declaration comes as Japan reports more than 250 more cases of COVID-19, bringing the national number of cases above 4,600. 11 minutes past 6 o'clock on this Tuesday morning, and still ahead for us, we'll tell you how one of the nation's largest grocery store chains is working to help prevent the spread of the virus.
And one stimulus check is already on its way to you this morning, but it might not be the only one you get. The president's latest comments on relieving economic stress coming up after the break.
We're so happy to have you with us on this Tuesday morning, everybody. It's 6:11. We'll be right back after a quick break.
The road to deer season madness is at Sloan's. Get a John Deere and your Sloan deal. Get 4.9% for 48 months or $69 per month on a John Deere Z345R. Get a John Deere now during deer season madness and
Through all the world events since 1936, Culligan Water has continued to provide better, safer water with our filtration systems for homes and businesses. These days, as a designated essential business, Culligan's water professionals are standing by, ready to help.
Do you take daily prescription pain medications, but they don't help enough? Do you want more options to better manage chronic pain? University of Wisconsin-Madison STAMP Study offers free, safe, therapeutic programs to address chronic pain. The programs occur once a week for 8 weeks and pays up to $340. Call 608-212-6902 today. Again, that's 608-212-6902.
The law offices of Gingras, Thompson, and Walks are here to support our community through this challenging time. We thank everyone bringing invaluable services to our neighbors. The Gingras, Thompson, and Walks team remains available to assist in any way.
Yeah, I'm a home builder, and I go to Nuns. Why? Well, my clients love them because they have all those smarty pants appliances. You know, like those fancy touchscreen fridges and ovens that text you when dinner's ready. Personally, I don't care for all that techie stuff. I'll stick to my good old-fashioned icebox, thank you very much. But hey, my clients love those smarty pants appliances, so we go to Nuns.
Nuns, kitchen, bath, and flooring.
people every day, or our risk-free 30-day price and satisfaction guarantee. You get a lot more at the Moore store. More selection, more savings, and more ways to make your home and wallet happy with the Scratch and Dent floor model sale. Now at the Brothers Maine, your local store for Moore since 1938.
The road to deer season madness is at Sloan's. Get a John Deere and your Sloan deal. Get 4.9% for 48 months at $139 per month on a John Deere Z720E. Get a John Deere now during deer season madness and powered up with Sloan's.
Good morning, everyone. It's about 6:15 on this Tuesday, and we're coming to you live from downtown Madison today, as today is the spring election here in Wisconsin, and it's still on despite many efforts to try and delay it, especially yesterday. And breaking here within the last 15 minutes or so, we do have some protesters beginning to gather in the way of a caravan of vehicles, and they're circling the city-county building. Right now, they're on the other side. We'd show it to you. Hopefully, they'll be around here during this report. But basically, they came up to me and they said they're trying to issue or trying to get the DHS Secretary Andrea Palm to issue a health order to try and delay today's election. You can see them coming around right now onto Martin Luther King Boulevard. They've got signs on their vehicles. There's been a lot of honking, a lot of vocal people very upset that today's in-person voting is still happening despite the coronavirus pandemic today. So this will be interesting. We've seen many cars just starting to gather within the last 15 minutes or so. You can see kind of this pilot car out front leading it all. Obviously a lot of reaction, a lot of emotion with this today as people are being told to stay home, yet we're still asked to vote today. So we'll continue following this developing story, and of course our coverage is just beginning here, but we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Josh Breiter anchoring live from downtown with the very latest. All right, millions of Americans are anticipating a stimulus relief check from the government over the next 2 weeks, but it might not be a one-time payment after all. President Trump now says he's seriously considering a second round of direct payments to Americans in hopes of limiting economic fallout from the pandemic. Starting today, all Starbucks employees will be required to wear face coverings while they're on the job. The company says they have provided instructions to employees on how to make their own face masks with supplies available in the stores if they don't have their own. The company is also working to stock up on thermometers. Once those supplies become available, employees will have the option to check their temperature regularly. Starbucks is currently only open for drive-through and delivery where available.
Grocery store chains around the country are taking on new measures now to help prevent the spread of the virus. Kroger says it is enacting a new policy to promote physical distance among its customers. Starting today, all stores owned by Kroger, which include Pick and Save stores, will be limited to 50% occupancy to make sure that shoppers have enough space for adequate social distancing. The company says it is also testing other safety measures, including encouraging employees to wear masks and gloves. Wellness checks for employees will be made, and one-way aisles will happen in some supermarkets. Two insurers, Allstate and American Family Insurance, say they will give back about $800 million to their auto insurance customers because people are driving a lot less during this coronavirus crisis. Allstate says it will refund about 15% of premiums paid by its customers in April and May, and American Family said it will give back $50 per car that a household has insured with the company via a one-time payment.
6:18 your time now. Normally the time Hattie's giving us a peek of the sunrise. Not much of one today, Hattie.
No, unfortunately. We had a nice sunrise yesterday, but this is the view this morning. Low clouds and fog in place across southern Wisconsin. In fact, temperatures, though, are milder. We have that fog for southwestern Wisconsin mainly, where temperatures are in the low to mid-50s. Mineral Point is the warm spot right now at 54 degrees. We're at 50 as well here in Madison, about 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Your Future Track forecast model does show a few scattered showers throughout the day. Best time frame is going to be later on this afternoon as a weak front moves through the area. There could be some showers and even a few isolated thunderstorms popping up for southern Wisconsin. As far as severe weather is concerned, there's just a marginal risk for severe storms, mainly in the south central and southeastern corner of the state. Again, that's later today. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk more about that extended forecast. Here's a sneak peek at the upper air pattern and those temperatures, those colder Canadian temperatures that will be spilling into the United States next week.
You know it's April in Wisconsin when it's 71 day and 40 the next. We're used to that. But this is like a gift today, though, so everybody should take advantage of it. Nice and warm today. All right, Hattie, thank you.
6:19 now. The coronavirus is causing many events to be canceled, but it's not stopping a Wisconsin woman from celebrating her 100th birthday.
This is so sweet. Friends and family showed their support for Geraldine Jerry Olson, and they made sure to keep their distance to keep her safe. Over the weekend, dozens of members of her community drove their cars past Jerry's house to wish her a happy birthday. Everyone wanted to give Jerry the birthday she truly deserves and show how much she is loved. Jerry's family says they originally planned a different celebration, probably, of course, but these are unusual times, to say the least, and that celebration is on hold for now. They hope to have another party for Jerry once the social distancing ends.
Hey, you do what you got to do,
That's
right?
Exactly right.
Hey, and while you're self-isolating today at home, put down the cleaning supplies. Here's a national holiday we think is worth celebrating, especially right now. Today is National No Housework Day, so give that laundry a break and leave the dishes in the sink. It's always easier said than done for me, especially being OCD, but maybe there are people out there that can do it.
I was going to say, Josh, you're so clean. Susan is also very clean. I'm going to let my fiance do all that work today. I'm all right.
I'm okay leaving them in the sink.
All right, it's 20 minutes past 6 o'clock right now, and just ahead for us, we're going to have the winner of yesterday's Safer at Home Challenge and also give you a look at what's ahead for today's challenge. That's coming up.
And then coming up in our next half hour, it is Election Day across our state. We're taking a look at the names you'll see on the ballot and what you need to know before you head to the polls this morning.
Stay with us, folks. News 3 Now this morning continues after the break.
The OBGYN team at Associated Physicians wants you to know that we are here to focus on you. Call us for an appointment today at 233-9746.
During these challenging times, many Habitat homeowners are hard at work on the front lines. Others have lost their jobs. Please consider making a donation to ease their financial burden and help us bring stability to families in our community.
Announcing another Best of Madison 2020 award. And the winner is Dwellings Interior Design and Home Furnishings. Best Interior Design. Madison's best kept $150 secret. For a list of all the winners, pick up the April issue of Madison Magazine.
It's dinner time in America, and the breadwinner arrives home from a long day at work. Now the family can sit down at the table, where everyone knows to be mindful of their manners.
Dinner time has changed. Our quality hasn't. Reynolds Wrap, foil made in the USA since 1947.
I'm Joanne Jenkins with AARP. The coronavirus continues to affect us all, and we are here, actively supporting you and your community. Every day, we're providing trusted information from top health experts, sharing tools to help protect families from fraud, and creating resources to support family caregivers everywhere. As always, you can count on AARP to advocate for you and your family. Join us and stay connected at aarp.org/coronavirus.
This is online learning. Today, it's more relevant than ever. This is you, a person looking for a lasting career. And this is Herzing University's Everywhere Classroom, where you can earn a degree in nursing, healthcare, business, and IT, anywhere, anytime. Take an online course free and get comfortable with online learning. That makes a degree from Herzing University more relevant than ever. I'm possible at Herzing. Learn more today.
Everyone is trying to do their part, especially now. And your Ford dealer is built to lend a hand. If your vehicle needs service, just call. Ford service centers are essential to your community and are still open. Find out about pickup and delivery options from participating Ford dealers. Plus, they've implemented enhanced cleaning measures for added peace of mind. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us do our part and help take care of you.
More than 70 years ago, we at Festival Foods began serving this proud state, building strong relationships founded on trust, compassion, and our unwavering commitment to ensuring that you and your family feel at home every time you visit Festival Foods. It's times like these that remind us that family and home are what truly matter most. So we're using this moment just to let you know that Festival Foods is here for you, because family always looks after family. Be safe, Wisconsin.
Download the Channel 3000 app today.
Welcome back, 6:24 on this Tuesday morning, and time to take a look at some of the entries from yesterday's Safer at Home Challenge. Each day we're giving you a challenge to give you a little extra something to do with all of this extra time you have at home. So yesterday we asked you for the best family game night, and here are a few of our favorites.
That's right. Our first runner-up is this giant puzzle. There's not much done yet, but they've got the edges down, so they're off to a great start. They've also organized the pieces. Love that, the way that they're putting that puzzle together.
Yes, this is my kind of family. You got to do the edge first, right? There has to be a strategy to this. And here's this morning's winner. This is a great idea. It's a family trivia night held on Zoom. Definitely a creative way to see your whole family and stay in touch while having a lot of fun.
So we have decided we're doing a News 3 This Morning family night with Euchre over Zoom.
Yes.
Josh is in. We got to teach him how to play, Josh.
Deal. I'm totally in.
All right. Well, congrats to today's winner. We're going to be sending you a gift card to a local business.
And now here's tomorrow's challenge. We are asking you to draw a picture of the first thing that you want to do when social distancing ends.
Oh, it's fun to just think about that, isn't it? I can't wait to see your drawings tomorrow. What's the first thing you're going to do, Leah?
Polka dance, maybe?
Polka
What do you
dance?
think? I'm in the mood for dancing after we watched that World War II vet.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you. Be sure to head to our website, channel3000.com/safe-at-home. You can upload your photos there, send in your submissions, and get all the information on the upcoming challenge. And thanks, everybody, for participating. We're really enjoying this.
We've had so much fun with these.
That's right. Well, a little peek at the weather today. Starting off with some fog. A dense fog advisory is in effect for southwestern Wisconsin until 9 o'clock this morning. That's where visibility is less than a mile. Coming down a little bit here in Madison as well. We're now down to 2.5 mile visibility at the Capitol. Today is going to be a warmer day. Highs will be near 70 this afternoon thanks to a southwesterly wind. There is a slight chance for a shower thunderstorm as well.
Stay with us. We're back right after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Get the Barnes 4-Step Lawn Care Program by scheduling a free consult with a Barnes licensed lawn care professional. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between. We are Barnes. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
It's totally normal to have constipation with belly pain, straining, and bloating again and again.
No way.
More exercise, more water, and more fiber is the only way to manage it.
Is it?
Maybe you think it's occasional constipation.
Maybe it's not.
It could be a chronic medical condition called IBS-C, and time to say yes to Linzess. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It helps relieve belly pain and lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Change your thinking to IBS-C. If your constipation and belly pain keeps coming back, tell your doctor and say yes to Linzess.
Coming together makes us stronger. And Ford is built to lend a hand, especially now, with 6-month payment relief. Buy a new Ford. We'll defer 3 payments and make 3 payments for peace of mind up to 6 months. Shop at Ford.com or contact your Ford dealer to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. You have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you.
When you're sick, so sick your heart hurts.
And your mind races.
When you think that you might have cancer, and then they tell you,
you have cancer.
And you just want somebody to say,
it's going to be okay.
This is where we treat cancers that were once thought untreatable, where success is measured in lives saved and dreams fulfilled. UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Your business is your pride and joy. You raised it with hard work, from nothing but a dream. And since you care so much, naturally you want to protect it from harm. That's where we come in. Because a great insurance policy is not a necessary evil. It's the best way to keep your business happy, healthy, and profitable. And that is the silver lining. Pamper your business with a policy from West Bend.
Get the Barnes 4-Step Lawn Care Program by scheduling a free consult with a Barnes licensed lawn care professional. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between. We are Barnes. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
Breaking right now at 6:30, protesters are starting to gather here in downtown ahead of today's election. They're upset that we are still voting due to the coronavirus pandemic. We'll have the latest just ahead.
And we do have a little bit of fog across southern Wisconsin this morning, but also pretty mild temperatures in the forecast. All the details coming up.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Hello, everybody. Good to have you with us. Today, it is Tuesday, April 7th. It's a big day, Election Day. I'm Susan Simon.
And I'm Leah Lynchide. Things are changing by the minute. Josh Spreiter's keeping an eye on all of it for us. He's live downtown this morning with the very latest. Hi, Josh.
Good morning, Leah. Good morning, Susan. Good morning to all of you at home. Obviously, a lot of developments even this morning after a big day yesterday. You just saw in our headline right there that there are some protesters beginning to do a drive-by caravan around the city-county building. We'd show you them right now. They're on the other side, but if you hear some honking and see some lights flashing, that is why they're upset, of course, that we are still heading to the polls today, even due to that coronavirus pandemic. There are a lot of local, state, and national races to look at today, and we begin this morning with a look at the Supreme Court race. That's probably the biggest race you're going to be seeing here in Wisconsin. The outcome will decide whether the court's conservative majority stays 5-2 or if it shrinks to 4-3. Incumbent Justice Dan Kelly is backed by conservative groups. In his time on the court, he wrote the decision that said Madison couldn't ban guns on its buses and has said the U.S. Supreme Court decision legalizing same-sex marriage undermined democracy. Jill Karofsky is looking to take his seat. She says she supports the Second Amendment and believes there are constitutional ways to put restrictions on guns. She supports same-sex marriage and thinks abortion should be a decision between a woman and her doctor. President Trump weighing in on this race this morning, tweeting his support for Justice Kelly overnight. He says, quote, "Vote today for highly respected Republican Justice Daniel Kelly. Tough on crime, loves your military, vets, farmers, and will save your Second Amendment." A big vote. Now, despite the president's phrasing, the Supreme Court is supposed to be nonpartisan. The other big race is for presidential primary today, and just into the newsroom this morning, civil rights leader and Democratic Representative John Lewis is endorsing Joe Biden for president. According to the latest Marquette Law School poll, the former vice president is also the favorite of Wisconsin voters. 64% of people who have already voted or folks who say they plan on voting this week say they're supporting Biden. That's almost twice as many people as those backing Bernie Sanders. In a hypothetical presidential matchup, the race gets a little closer. Biden gets 48% compared to Trump's 45%, though there is a margin of error of nearly 6%, meaning it really could go either way. President Trump is ahead of Sanders by 2%, with a 47% of the support in that matchup. Now, there's also a statewide referendum about victims' rights today, and many school board elections and referendums there as well, depending on where you live. We're not expecting to hear any official results until April 13th at the earliest, as there are 1 million absentee ballots that also need to be counted. Of course, our coverage just beginning on what's going to be a very long day here in Wisconsin. For now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Josh, thank you. If you live here in Madison, there's a good chance your polling place has changed. The city has an interactive map, this one right here, posted on their website that will help you figure out if yours has changed because of coronavirus concerns. A lot of the spots that were moved were nursing homes or other places where at-risk folks would have a higher chance of getting the virus. A link to this map is up right now on channel3000.com.
Now, we've also seen a lot of changes over the last 24 hours about how the election will be executed today, especially when it concerns absentee ballots.
So this is what you need to know before you drop yours off or mail it in today. Absentee ballots will only be counted if they're hand-delivered to a poll worker or if they're postmarked by your post office today. That means any ballots mailed in without a postmark will not be counted unless it's marked for today's date or earlier. If you're one of the 12,000 people who requested a ballot but didn't get it yet, you will have to vote at the polls.
Now, you'll remember at one point there was an exception to the witness signature rule rule that allowed voters to send in their ballot without a signature if you could prove that you couldn't get it safely. That is no longer in effect, and all absentee ballots will need a signature. If you already submitted yours without a signature, your ballot may not count, and unfortunately, you will not be able to request a new one in person today. The Wisconsin Elections Commission says the only way to have your vote count if you're in this particular situation is to bring a witness with you to the polls today and vote there.
The total number of absentee ballots requested has increased daily. The latest numbers from the Wisconsin Elections Commission show at least 1.28 million ballots have been requested. Now take a look at how this compares to requests made in past elections. Keep in mind, of course, these numbers include both mail-in and in-person absentee voting. But since the last April election in 2016, requests have gone up by 1 million.
New this morning, Bernie Sanders is standing against the decision to allow Wisconsin's election today. He tweeted, quote, "It is outrageous that the Republican legislative leaders and the conservative majority on the Supreme Court in Wisconsin are willing to risk the health and safety of many thousands of Wisconsin voters for their own political gain." He continued saying, quote, "Holding this election amid the coronavirus outbreak is dangerous, disregards the guidance of public health experts, and may very well prove deadly." He says he won't participate in any get out the vote efforts today because of these concerns. Those worried about today's election are concerned that the coronavirus outbreak and the numbers involved will go up with people packing into polling places around the state. 15 states have already moved their elections because of these concerns. Right now, there are more than 2,500 confirmed cases in Wisconsin and 83 deaths.
All right, switching gears now, Hattie McLean has the best news of the day. A nice warm-up for our Tuesday, Hattie.
Yeah, certainly. It's going to be the warmest day in almost 6 months. But we start with a little bit of fog this morning for southwestern Wisconsin. That dense fog advisory in effect until 9 o'clock this morning. I've seen visibilities being reduced all morning long and now down to around 0 in the Dells. No visibility there. 3/4 to a half a mile visibility through the Wisconsin River Valley. About a half-mile visibility in Camp Douglas. Now here in Madison, we've been fluctuating between 2 and 4 mile visibility, so the fog is not as widespread of an issue for us, and to the east, really not an issue at all as you get closer to the lakeshore. Doppler track this morning, relatively quiet across southern Wisconsin. Warm air has been moving into the area all night. There are some showers and thunderstorms, though, popping up just west of La Crosse. We do have a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm, mainly later on this afternoon for the area. Here's a look at weather track. We definitely have low clouds and fog, even if we're not seeing any rain right now. Temperatures are right around 50 degrees. If you're just stepping out the door this morning for a walk or a run maybe, you'll be surprised by how mild it is. 50 here in Madison and Janesville. In the Dells, it's close, 48 degrees. Your future track forecast model shows, again, a chance for a few showers today, especially later on this afternoon as temperatures climb into the 70s. Now, from about Darlington to Madison and areas to the south and east, there is a chance for a shower or thunderstorm as we go through the afternoon hours. Just a marginal risk, though, for severe storms. Our temperatures will stay on the mild side today. We're not looking at a ton of rain. Most spots picking up less than 1/4 inch. Highs in the low 70s today. I'll get out of the way so you can see 71 degrees for our high temperature. After that, kind of downhill. 64 for the high on Wednesday. That'll be midday. Temperatures will drop back in the afternoon, and then we're back to highs in the 40s as we head towards the end of the week.
Oh, enjoy it today. It feels like a gift. It really does.
It does.
It does.
All right, Hattie, thank you. We're hoping to hear more today from the Madison School District about its plans to find a new superintendent after the incoming candidate abruptly chose to stay at his current district instead of coming to Madison. Dr. Matthew Gutierrez says he couldn't leave his district at this difficult time, feeling an overwhelming need to stay and support students and staff. The MMSD Board of Education plans on scheduling a closed session to decide how to start looking for his replacement.
As students and teachers continue to adjust to virtual learning during the pandemic, Madison seniors could be able to graduate with less credits and one less exam. The State Journal reports the Madison School District is introducing a proposal to loosen credit requirements. They would drop the district's 22 credit threshold to match the state-required 15 credit minimum. The district also applied for a waiver to the state-mandated civics exam required for graduation. Verona and Middleton are also looking at waiving similar requirements.
The president is encouraging COVID patients to use a drug that experts say has not yet been completely proven effective in fighting the virus. The New York Times reports if hydroxychloroquine becomes an accepted treatment, several pharmaceutical companies will profit, including the president himself. President Trump has a small personal financial interest in a French drug maker that makes a brand name version of the drug. The government's top infectious disease specialist told CBS's Face the Nation there is no definitive proof yet that shows the drug works.
In Madison, the city's finance director says economic damage to the city from the coronavirus will be much worse than what was expected just 2 weeks ago. A financial update shows the city of Madison has already spent more than $1 million responding to the crisis. The State Journal reports this is up from the $125,000 the city had spent on the pandemic as of March 23rd. The Congressional Budget Office expects unemployment to be high for at least the next year and a half, with social distancing measures expected to be in place through the end of the year. Even with those losses, though, officials say Madison will be able to pay its bills and its staff.
Foxconn's first project in Wisconsin could be to make ventilators. The Journal Sentinel reports the company is partnering with Medtronic, a medical device company based in Ireland, to build ventilators starting in the next 6 weeks. They're hoping to make up to 1,000 a month by the end of June. Last month, Foxconn said it would continue construction on its Mount Pleasant plant, but it would not be fully functioning until 2022. It's 6:40 right now. Hattie's tracking a chance of rain this afternoon. It's foggy out there this morning, too, and it's so warm. When you step outside, boy, you're really going to notice it feels great.
No jacket needed.
No jacket required. She'll have all the details in the forecast coming up.
Plus, we're sharing our favorite video of the day that's going to have you getting up and dancing with this World War II vet. You got to check out this viral video out of Wisconsin. That's next. Stay with us.
Get a deal on the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
If you want your company vehicle noticed, wrap it right with vehicle graphics and wraps from Monarch Media Designs. We are a 3M certified graphics installation company, which means you're getting the best installers, the best materials, the best vehicle wraps. Monarch Media Designs. To see how your business can get noticed, visit our online gallery at monarchworld.com.
Toyota's family stretches to every corner of this country. So you can trust us to be here for you as we remain committed to supporting our community, because the Toyota family is stronger together. This is our pledge. We are here for you now and in all the better days ahead. Get a 90-day deferred first payment on every new Toyota. Contact your dealer for more information. Toyota.
Check out Steinhaffel's virtual shopping experience. We provide you with a 360-degree view of our most popular products, so spin all of the furniture you want. Plus, browse through our product videos to see and learn more about our best sellers. We also have sale associates ready to help through phone, email, or our online chat feature. And get your online order shipped free to your curb, driveway, or garage. Shop online with confidence at steinhaffels.com.
It's easy to lose sight of what we should love and appreciate. Milk is for a lot of things that really matter. For our bones and bodies, sure. But also to build us up when we need it. And for those real moments and connections. Because the things we love in life are the things that really matter. Milk. Love what's real.
Get a deal on the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. Get the L2501 HST for payments as low as $149 a month.
The COVID-19 crisis has hit Madison's restaurant industry hard, and they need our help. That's why News 3 Now, Channel 3000, and Madison Magazine are partnering with Kesnick's, asking you to donate to the SOS fundraiser. 100% of your financial gift will help local restaurant employees stay in their homes and provide for their families. Go to Kesnick's SOS Fund on the GoFundMe page to contribute and help us keep Madison the vibrant foodie destination we all know and love.
All right, it's our favorite part of the morning. Every day we share our favorite stories of humanity during the pandemic to highlight the folks who are making a difference in our community.
Our producer Ari picked this story this morning. Check it out.
Oh, this is just great.
I know, we love this so much. This is Chuck Fransky, a 97-year-old World War II Navy pilot from Wisconsin, from Waukesha. This video was posted on the Stars and Stripes Honor Flight Twitter account. He's dancing to Justin Timberlake's song Can't Stop the Feeling, and the president of pop is loving it just as much as we are.
That's right. The video got posted on Instagram and caught Timberlake's eye. He commented and said, "This just made my day."
Think it made mine as well.
That's right. Chuck has been making headlines for years. Back in 2017, the Journal Sentinel shared a video of him dancing to Jingle Bells, and then in 2018 came back with a dance to Frank Sinatra's rendition of Let It Snow. His wife tells our affiliate in Milwaukee that he's always been a good dancer.
Keeps you young.
It does. There's a man who can polka, I bet. All right, Josh, you are leading our daily thanks to the folks on the front lines. What do you have for us on this Tuesday?
Hey, and it's actually a perfect one for today, guys. Today is World Health Day, and today we're thanking the people that are at the forefront of all of this. Take a look at this. Today we're thanking this brother and sister duo. They sent us this picture and said, different roles, same goals, helping our community. And of course, we want to thank them for everything that they're doing to keep us all safe during this time of uncertainty. And thank you for making a difference for us.
Oh yeah, good for them. I'd love to meet their parents. They must be very proud. They're doing something right. They've got two people out on the front lines, maybe a little nervous now too, but
oh yeah,
thanks to them for everything they're doing. Hattie McLean is here now with your first warned weather, and feels like a little touch of summer out there this morning.
It does, and there is a chance for a few showers or even some thunderstorms later on today. The probability of precipitation not terribly high, but through the afternoon and evening hours, there is a chance that we'll see a few showers pop up across southern Wisconsin. Now, as far as severe weather is concerned, you know, we're getting into that time of the year that we could see severe weather. There's a marginal risk for severe storms from Madison and points to the south and east. Main threats would be strong winds and some hail. Now, our future track temperatures today, it is definitely going to feel a little bit more like summer. We're in the 50s this morning, into the 60s by lunchtime, and then low 70s in many spots this afternoon. Take advantage of the warmth today if you can, because temperatures are going to cool down quite a bit as we head through the rest of the week.
Not a bad day for a hike, I do believe.
I agree.
All right, thank you very much, Hattie. 6:47 now. Coming up in the morning sprint, how the National Guard is stepping up to fill the poll worker shortage.
But first, we want to say happy birthday to Griffin. Oh, buddy.
What a cutie.
I love that name, too. And all of the kids who are turning 3 today, thanks for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning. We're coming up on almost 10 to 7. We'll be right back after a quick break. Happy birthday, buddy.
Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
It started with one man and his father's simple advice.
He said, "Son, make sure the quality of work is worthy of the family name."
Over 20 years and thousands of clients later, Fry Construction still follows this advice, giving you the very best craftsmanship for roofing, windows, and gutters. If you want to trust the work done on your home, trust the family name that's behind it. Start with Fry Construction and Home Improvement at fryconstruction.com.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry, with honesty you can trust to deliver quality products and workmanship. Dedicated to being the best. So when you need a plumber for an important upgrade or 24-hour emergency service, call RHD. For your home or business, get the job done right the first time with no surprises. With the reliable, honest, and dedicated plumbing professionals of RHD Plumbing, proudly serving all of Dane County.
Come Coming together makes us stronger. And Ford is built to lend a hand, especially now, with 6-month payment relief. Buy a new Ford. We'll defer 3 payments and make 3 payments for peace of mind up to 6 months. Shop at Ford.com or contact your Ford dealer to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. You have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you.
Do Judge Jill Karofsky's weak sentences risk our safety? After a serial abuser and child predator shot a woman, Karofsky went easy on him, letting the monster off with only 8 years. When a violent criminal with a handgun and bags of drugs viciously assaulted a female police officer, Karofsky went easy again with a slap on the wrist, giving 2 years probation instead of prison. See the pattern? Tell Judge Karofsky no more weak sentences.
Each spring, thousands of wildfires are caused by burning debris. To ensure everyone's health and safety during the COVID-19 public health emergency, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is suspending all burning permits until further notice. Burning debris in DNR protection areas is prohibited. Help keep our emergency responders able to help those who need it most. Thank you for your patience. For updated information, visit dnr.wi.gov and search fire.
Wow, you ready?
Yeah, let me just grab my wallet.
Uh-oh, I've seen this before. Wallet way too big, skinny jeans too skinny.
I'll just carry it.
Before you break something, you should know you don't actually need a wallet. With BMO Harris, you can just take cash out with your phone. Or if you need to, you can pay them with Zelle. That works? Yeah. You're stuck, aren't you?
Smile.
Woo! Those jeans are way too tight.
That feeling you get when no wallet is no big deal. That's the BMO effect.
Go to Amazon.com skills to enable Channel 3000 news briefs.
Welcome back at 6:50. Time for the morning sprint.
We are living in history this morning, folks. You can hear protesters behind me this morning as we are still having election day today. These people are calling for us not to have that election. Of course, there are a number of elections still happening today despite the coronavirus pandemic at the local, state, and national levels. One of the biggest races Wisconsinites will still see on the ballot is for the Supreme Court. The outcome will decide whether the court's conservative majority stays 5-2 or if it shrinks to 4-3. Incumbent Justice Dan Kelly is backed by conservative groups. Jill Karofsky is backed by liberal groups and is looking to take his seat. President Trump is weighing in on this race this morning, tweeting his support for Justice Kelly overnight. He says, quote, "Vote today for highly respected Republican Justice Daniel Kelly. Tough on crime, loves your military, vets, and farmers, and will save your Second Amendment. A big vote." Despite the president's phrasing, the Supreme Court is supposed to be nonpartisan. And breaking just within the last hour, Democratic Representative John Lewis is endorsing Joe Biden for president. The civil rights icon is promising to campaign for the former vice president, saying that we need Biden's leadership now more than ever before. That news comes ahead of the big race for presidential primary today. Wisconsin is believed to be a swing state, and according to the latest Marquette Law School poll, Joe Biden is expected to be the winner of today's contest. 64% of people who have already voted or folks who say they plan on voting this week say they're supporting Biden. That's almost twice as many people as those backing Bernie Sanders.
Thank you, Josh. This is all happening after a series of last-minute Supreme Court decisions at the state and federal levels. Governor Evers initially signed an executive order pushing in-person voting until June, but as you know, that was canceled after the state Supreme Court ruled 4-2 that the governor doesn't have the authority to do that. A few hours later, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of state Republicans, blocking a lower court order that would have given voters until April 13th to mail in their absentee ballots.
Those ballots will only be counted if they're hand-delivered to a poll worker or if they're postmarked by your post office today. That means any ballots mailed in without a postmark will not be counted unless it's marked for today's date or earlier. If you're one of the 12,000 people who requested an absentee ballot but didn't get it yet, you will have to vote at the polls.
Now, at one point, you'll recall there was an exception to the witness signature rule that allowed voters to send in their ballot without a signature if you could prove that you couldn't get one safely. That is no longer in effect. All absentee ballots will need a signature. If you've already submitted yours without that signature, your ballot may not count, and you won't be able to request a new one in person today. The only way to have your vote count in this situation is to bring a witness with you to the polls and vote there.
The total number of requested absentee ballots has continued to increase daily. The latest numbers from the Wisconsin Elections Commission show at least 1.28 million ballots have been requested. Take a look at how that compares to requests made in previous elections. Of course, keep in mind these numbers include both mail-in and in-person absentee voting. Since the last April election in 2016, requests have gone up by 1 million.
If you live in Madison, before you head out the door today to go to your polling place, make sure you double check because your polling location may have changed. The city has an interactive map posted on their website. It will help you figure out if yours has changed, and of course this is all because of the coronavirus concerns. A link to this map is up right now on our website, channel3000.com. And if you head out today and vote, you could be greeted by a member of the National Guard. More than 2,400 soldiers and airmen will serve in the counties where they live, and they will be wearing civilian clothes. They've already finished their training and helped set up.
We are hoping to learn more from the Madison School District today about plans to find a new superintendent after the incoming candidate rescinded his acceptance for that role. Dr. Matthew Gutierrez said he couldn't leave his current district in Texas at this time, feeling an overwhelming need to support his current students and staff.
Madison seniors could be able to graduate with fewer credits and one less exam. The State Journal reports the Madison School District is introducing a proposal to loosen credit requirements, dropping the district's 22 credit threshold to match the state-required 15 credit minimum. The district also applied to the State Department of Public Instruction for a waiver to the state-mandated civics exam that students currently need to pass in order to graduate.
And we start this Tuesday morning with a dense fog advisory for southwestern Wisconsin. That's where visibility is less than a mile. In fact, zero visibility right now in the Dells. It's down to less than 2 miles here in Madison. Our temperatures over the next 12 hours will climb from the 50s back into the low 70s this afternoon. The warmest day in almost 6 months here in southern Wisconsin. Our extended forecast has much cooler weather, though, as we go through the rest of the week into the upcoming weekend. So enjoy those mild temperatures today. We will cool down starting tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Hattie. We certainly will. Thanks for joining us this morning, folks. Remember, we will continue to have